Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And this is going to be a prophecy watch, watching out in the world, looking to see, what's happening so that we can tie it to biblical prophecy. All right, as we know, Esau, Edom, and the elites of this world have but a short time to establish their NWO. And we can clearly see that 2025, all right, was started with a bang, all right, so-called 2025, which is, January 1st is Esau, Edom's new year. You see, and we know that ultimately that goes back to Rome. Okay, it's all kind of demonic activity taking place, idol worship, and we're in a time where these elites are, gonna throw out all manner of psyops, false flags, black swans, and chaos is only gonna pick up because they need that for the purpose of establishing order. And these are the things that start with our apostles and elders, all right, the bishops, all right, and brothers who've entered into their labors. We've been telling you these things, all right, while many of you Israelites have been promoting, this happy-go-lucky, environment and mindset, which there's a time and place, for mirth and things of that sort. But we're in some very, very deadly, serious times. Things are getting ready to get very dangerous, and you're going to need to be rooted in the understanding of why, all right, which is accompanied with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding sent from on high. As the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, all right? And we know, according to the scriptures, they say that there's going to be a lot of falsehoods, all right, going forth, and if possible, right, these different enchantments and things could deceive the very elect. Okay, so we know 2025 was started off with a bang. I mean, even entering into 2025, airplanes, crashing, people just, demonic energy. Now, remember, the so-called Pope, did something, or he so-called, from Christmas Eve going forward, opened some portals, which we know that, they go hand in hand with the beast system, and they're known as the false prophet, all right? And we know for sure CERN, the Vatican, and these devils are, pretty much entering evil spirits into the earth for the purpose of chaos, and we see it working. And now, all right, they're telling us sleeper cells are going to be activated, basically putting the people in a constant state of fear. And the response and answer to this, all right, will be their form of peace and safety for you, which will include taking away your rights, surveillance heightened, all right, more AI, all right, and eventually everyone will have to enter into that hub to identify themselves, and we know what's next, the MOTB, all right. Now, Congressman warns ISIS sleeper cells, all right, are about to be activated by the C to the I to the Izze, right? These sleeper cells, now what is a sleeper cell? All right, so you can understand what that is. Let's see if we can see what a sleeper cell is. All right, a sleeper agent is a spy who infiltrates a target country or organization and stays dormant until activated. Okay, now whether it's by, mind control, or whether they're just on an assignment, pretty much they lay dormant, and then at the appointed time they do things. Now understand that there's sleeper agents in particular camps as well, all right, and a lot is getting ready to happen. So we got to stay on our P's and Q's, watch, pray, and continuously stay in the faith, because things are getting ready to turn up, as we already see. I mean, it's only the 3rd of January, and I mean, bam. Everywhere you look, there's some type of chaotic environment. There's judgment, airplanes crashing. Okay. They're starting to bring the mask back. So 2025, all right, as the Apostle Tahar, coined it, the year of destruction, or deliverance and destruction, all right, in the end of Esau, man. So sleeper cells in the United States are about to be activated to cause carnage across America in the next few weeks. Congressman Corey Mills has warned. Let's check this out. See if we can get it to load.
Yes, there's two things going on. One, you have ISIS, which is on the run. Only about 1,700 to 1,900 fighters still remaining.
And just know that those small hats set up so-called ISIS, okay? And these are particular organizations that they pull out of their pocket when they want to, start some, friction and blame it on someone. Of course, blame it on, Ishmael. All right. But that's another lesson for another time.
They're in Syria, taking heavy hits from HTS as well as for the Syrian Democrat forces. They're being squeezed by CTS in Iraq as well as for American soft forces. And their recruitment efforts have dwindled massively. Now you've got Iran. Iran has been hit and pinched on all areas. They're no longer around the Syria area. Hassan Nasrallah of Lebanon has now been eliminated by the IDF. Sinwar of Hamas has been obliterated and killed by IDF. And now you have where they're going to be refocusing, reconcentrating all of their efforts and resources. We know we have President Trump coming in. They want to cause fear. They want to cause panic. But I think that what we're seeing as well is over 4+ years, we've had millions of people cross our borders. We know there's sleeper cells in our area. We know they're easily activated. And I think that what you're seeing now is a desperation for both ISIS and Iran to refocus and reconstitute its efforts.
So basically, now the blame, all right, the boogeyman is going to be, all right, Islamic, all right, domestic terror, okay, which we know eventually they plan on down the line linking the Israelites to that, which Vocab Malone has already tried to attempt to do that, all right. But again, as these what they call sleeper cells, start to do their dirty work, this is going to give the devil the ability, okay, to bring forth his law. As the scriptures say, he frameth mischief by a law. All right, let's get that real quick. By a law. Okay, and he has all of these organizations that he funds. Okay, and they just pop up here and there doing things. All right, so that he can point at another boogeyman. All right, when the true boogeyman, all right, is the elites in their plan. This is the book of Psalms 94 and 20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? All right. And that's what they're doing. They're framing mischief by a law, because as we're going to show you in this lesson, the answer to all of this instability and madness and violence that's going to take place, okay, is going to be to take away your civil liberties, okay, and surveil you to the point where you're going to have to be surveilled from the inside so they can know what you're thinking, because it's going to get so chaotic, okay? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. And that's what this is all for, okay, so that, those who have a right cause, those who have a voice against evil, all right, can be rooted out, you see, and that the elites and those who are really at the forefront of evil, okay, can slip, behind the building with shekels falling out of their pocket, and no one points the finger at them or blames them. All right, but you best believe the angels are watching you devils, man. Okay, so shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law. And that's what they're getting ready to do. All right. Unrighteous decrees are coming down the pipe. Tyranny is coming down the pipe. See what this says in the NLT. Can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Leaders whose decrees permit injustice. Boom. And that's ultimately what they're getting ready to do. Okay, and it's not going to be fair, right? Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So all of these things are prescribed, meaning written down before the events take place. But when the event takes place, that gives them the ability to go into their bag and say, we have the solution. Okay, so yeah, here's another article. Okay, they're saying 1,000 Al-Qaeda fighters in the U.S. as borders fuel terror threat. Okay, so the left, okay, just allowed all of this influx of people to come in. All right, it's not just the Northern Kingdom. A lot of people, when they think of the borders being open, you think just the Northern Kingdom. Well, you got, all right, Hamites. You got the so-called Chinese. Okay. You got Africans. You got your so-called Chinese, so-called Africans. You got all manner of people. Okay. And you don't know their intent. And that was purposely done. Okay. So now there's going to be a digital border set up to surveil people digitally. All right. As let's listen to a little bit more of this and then we'll get those articles.
To try and potentially go after targets here in the U.S.
You know, all of that makes a ton of sense. And we know there's a terrorist connection here. And, you know, if you would have asked me this morning, I would say it's fairly obvious.
And it's crazy how the elite, all right, the true problem of the earth is never labeled terror. Okay?
There were IEDs in the area.
Like
the
guys like
ISIS
him.
flag was very visible. It was right there on the back of his truck. And look, I understand you want to be cautious with information. I get that. I was press secretary during COVID-19. You have to be cautious. But why wasn't the FBI cautious in saying this? I want to play this from this morning. They were very clear that they could rule one thing out at 6 a.m. local time.
6.
This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found. And we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not.
Why say that categorically when you had to correct yourself about an hour or so later?
Well, again, I can't wait to get confirmed Pete Hegseth, the SecDef, Kash Patel there in the FBI, and Tulsi Gabbard at ODNI. That's going to clean up a lot of this mess because I can tell you this is absolutely a terrorist attack and probably one of many. I wouldn't be surprised either if the symbolism of the Tesla truck blowing up in front of the Trump Tower wasn't somehow tied in on this.
Now you have a Tesla truck blow up in front of the Trump Tower. All right. And then you have President Trump linked with Elon Musk for his presidency. Okay, and MAGA, they're already arguing back and forth. Okay, so you mean to tell me that wasn't a sign? Okay, let's listen to a little bit more.
As a way to try and intimidate and or threat President Trump. So what I would say is this. We need to determine whether or not this individual, bin Jabbar, did in fact go into Mexico 2 days ago. What that could tell us is that there's potentially a joint operational center of sorts with ISIS or with other terrorist factions in Mexico who are commanding and giving activation orders. And so we need to start thinking about where the ties are. We need to start looking at how.
So now it's not only going to be Northern Kingdom that they're going to wage war on, but you know, Muslims and again, their plan is to come down, all right, hard on anyone who has an opinion against them. Anyone who has an opinion against them is going to be labeled a terror because over these years, all right, you saw the left, all right, call out white supremacist groups and the true domestic terror, right? They're just automatic. I mean, ironically, they just start talking about white supremacy. Even Joe Biden, white supremacy. That's the biggest problem in America, right? But they, you know, what they did, okay, during that time over these years is link, okay, so-called black people, which a so-called black man in America can never be a supremacist. Okay, so-called black people, all right, and the rest of the tribes don't use their racial superiority to go around bombing and harming people and blowing up churches. That has been an Edomite thing. Okay, and the only one who could be supreme or have supremacy in this system is Esau, because he controls the resources. And what he can do is with that power, he can control the quality of what you eat, the quality of your education, the quality of the music that goes on the airwaves. Jake can't do that. Jake could be the face of what Esau wants and who Esau uses and pays to do a lot of this evil. But at the forefront of who's truly supreme, all right, are the elites. A so-called black man can never be supreme. So black supremacy within the system of Edomite supremacy is a farce. But these are play on words. So now all of these supremacist groups and people who, preach, their racial superiority and all of this are targeted. Okay. Now you have the rise of with the small hats against the Palestinians, and this talking point of free Palestine and all of these things that they're going to use as means to wage war on everybody, man. Okay. Now, what happened in Vegas, we know, was that the Trump Tower. I mean, at the Tesla blew up in front of the Trump Tower, and what was the solution? Okay, immediately, what did they install? Which they've already prescribed it. Again, what does it say in the book of Isaiah 10:1? Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, before scribe wrote down. Okay, so we're getting ready to see draconian measures implemented, as we always bring out the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. Right? And again, Fox News, CNN News, it's all propaganda. Okay? Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, the Democratic and Republican parties, just like in ancient Rome, you had the plebeians and patricians. Okay, these two opposing, horns, okay, which in the grand scheme of things, both present themselves as saviors. Trump is being looked at as a savior. You have Kyros, okay, to get to the point, it says a mighty and valiant helper, the altar of deliverance of the Messiah, all right, and everything that the left brought in, the inflation, which has always been hell, but there's a special kind of hell that, Biden and them brought in, the alphabet nastiness. You got grown men walking into girls' bathrooms, identifying as women. You got a big mess. So Trump, all right, along with the migrants coming over here, Trump is being set up to give you the solution to that, all right, which they have prescribed. So you have all of this chaos going on. All of a sudden, Las Vegas installs license plates reading cameras. Okay, license plates reading cameras. All right, yes, Big Brother is watching you. Ahead of Tuesday night's New Year's Eve celebration, the city of Las Vegas activated 22 new surveillance cameras. Now, in China, okay, for every one person, there's about 40 cameras on his ass, meaning you're heavily surveilled. Your phone is tied to a digital grid. You're identified digitally. Okay, that's what's coming here. Okay, 22 new surveillance cameras along street intersecting the Fremont Street, all right, experience. These cameras actively scan for license plates of stolen or unwanted vehicles, notifying law enforcement when any matches are obtained. So as you can see, as a form of peace and safety, because the devil, he speaks with a forked tongue. Okay, let's get the book of Psalms 28:3. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their minds. Okay, they speak peace to their neighbors and mischief is in their mind. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hand. Render them their desert, what they deserve, man. Blood is what they deserve. Destruction is what they deserve. Captivity is what they deserve. Okay? Because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operations of his hands. They've uprooted every system the Lord has established and implemented a rebellion, which is why they come to do the deeds of Satan. You see what I'm saying? And it's caused the whole this whole earth is in chaos, especially here in America. And the answer isn't surveilling everybody and taking away. The answer is Yahweh Shai returning, all right, and the elites of this world being put in chains. That's the answer to all of the world's problems. Now, it may sound crazy to you, okay? But when it's all said and done, look at what's coming out about what they're doing, what they're putting in your food, what they do to children. All of these sex, child pedo, all of these rings they got going on. All of this stuff is coming out. They're being exposed. But they're sitting there on the news pointing the finger at these people are the terrorists you got to watch out for. These people, that having people's minds all over the goddamn place. Okay, as the scriptures say, fool. Let's see if I can find this scripture. Proverbs 17:24. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding. We can look at what's before us and clearly see that there's a problem. But the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. And that's how Esau, he got everybody there. Your eyes are everywhere, but where they need to be. You see what I'm saying? But clearly, all right, it said, because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands, he shall destroy them and not build them up. They're not going to be built back up. Ain't going to be no after 1,000 years, Esau comes out of the caves with weapons. Nah, man. But again, the cameras will improve public safety during New Year Eve's festivals. And look what happened in New Orleans. Look what happened, all right, in Vegas. Okay? The cameras cannot be used by police to monitor or punish traffic infractions, but, all right, in other parts of the world, let's see if I can find that. They are going to set this type of stuff up. New AI cameras capable of identifying drunk drivers being rolled out. Okay, we ain't going to take too long on these articles because I have to get ready for camp, but now you have AI cameras that can catch drunk drivers. All right, because you got people driving crazy, and the juice got a lot to do with a lot that's happening too. These people are juiced up, drugged up, alcoholed up. Okay, all of that mix, they got all kind of spirits on them, so people are driving crazy. Again, so they're gonna start to present solutions to all of these issues, man. Okay, the state-of-the-art tech developed, all right, by AccuSensus works by scanning passing cars, all right, for telltale signs of impaired driving. Okay, so again, tyranny is coming down the pipe. Okay, because again, two horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon, as we were reading in Revelation, the 13th chapter. Okay, and that dragon speaks to tyranny. And what does Isaiah, the 19th chapter say? Let's get that real quick. Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's all of this chaos, all of this division, right? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, like even this dude who so-called ran into the people and on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, he was mad about his wife. He was mad about, so everybody's against one another. So you don't know who can snap at what point. And these are all things, all right, a lot of it is brought about. It's all the spirit of the Lord doing it, but it's through Satan. It's through his left hand, okay? And the spirit of Egypt shall fail, in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have a familiar spirits and to the wizards. AI, technology, all these different religions and philosophies is bugged out. Okay, that's another reason people are losing their minds. And the Egyptians will I give over to the hand to a cruel lord. A fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay, so this speaks to tyranny. You see what I'm saying? This speaks to tyranny. I will hand Egypt over to a hard, cruel master. A fierce king will rule them, says the Lord of heaven's armies. So a fierce king, all right, and harsh draconian methods are coming down the pipe for you people, man, for America. Okay, and the elect are going to be here while all of this is happening. This is why the scriptures say, all right, the time of Jacob's trouble, but the elect are going to be saved out of it. Okay, the 2/3, all of these different plagues and things we do, that's for the 2/3. Now persecution is coming for us, but the Lord is going to be with us, man. Okay. TSA targets 400 U.S. airports for biometric rollout. See that? So hand in hand with all of these crazy situations and scenarios that's popping up, you're starting to see, all right, biometric rollout. Okay, what is biometrics? See if we can find that. We can look that up. Biometrics are body measurements and calculations related to human characteristics and features. All right. And again, we know that their plan with this whole transhuman thing is to merge man with machine. Okay, make you a trackable, traceable, all right, barcode that can be scanned. That's the goal. See, and they're gonna start putting all kind of hell, all kind of, again, these sleeper cells are getting ready to, you know, which this has been their play. Esau Edom really does the same thing over and over again, man. We're starting to already see the Ovid situation from 2020. The same thing is happening again. Okay, read that topic. Read the title of that article. Okay, it's coming back. Okay, it's coming back. Here we go again. And that's going to be a means, all right, for AI, because with that, they have AI-driven surveillance systems that will be able to combat emerging infectious all right, eases. See that? So there you go. I mean, again, the answer for all of these issues that we see is going to be rooted in technology, the technocracy that we always talk about. Okay? So, as you can see here, former CIA officer Sarah Adams warns that 1,000 Al-Qaeda trained fighters are on the U.S. soil, citing intelligence and the new recent New Orleans terror attack. The New Orleans attack involving a vehicle ramming mirrors ISIS and Al-Qaeda tactics. Supposedly he had a flag somewhere in his, linking him to this, which, okay. And there's a video I looked at that said that the real meaning of this is Israeli something system, all right? But I have to look that up. But we know Esau Edom is behind it. He has the ability to fund and build, organizations and people, all right? And there may be some people in these organizations that are sincere, right, to the cause, but at the end of the day, he has his plans, man. Adams links the Biden administration's open border policies and Afghanistan withdrawal to increased terrorist threats and sleeper cell networks. The U.S. is unprepared to coordinated attacks, with terrorists exploiting weak border control, all right, and intelligence gaps. There you go. So what's going to be the answer? Immediate action is needed to secure the borders, strengthen intelligence, and dismantle terrorist networks to prevent future attacks. So what do you think the answer is going to be? How do you think they're going to come against this? What do you think the answer is going to be? Well, we're showing you, okay? It's going to be AI. It's going to be surveillance. It's going to be taking away your rights, okay? Schools using AI to send police to students' homes, all right? Because you got all of these, crazy ass children bugged out on these philosophies, going crazy. AI is getting ready to start policing things more and more and more, man. Okay, and we can see digital identity is developing in all kind of nations, man. Okay, for a secure and safe, all right, world. Okay, all over the world, this is what's being implemented because the elites are getting ready to hone in on that plan that they have. Okay, and they're poisoning the shit out of people. Okay, as you brothers and sisters may have been witnessing, this right here. Okay, because these videos are getting ready to be taken down. These channels are getting ready to disappear. It's getting ready to be all-out war as that left-hand priesthood, takes root in the earth. All right, and a lot of you thought Trump was gonna, he's with them. Okay, he works for them. Okay, and pretty soon, all right, hey, you're getting ready to see a whole new world. Okay, but people are gonna be messed up. Okay, sick. Okay, the food is I mean, everything is against the people. So again, it's gonna be worse than 2020 when they shut things down. Okay, but I just wanted to bring that out. All right. Again, we always bring out the book of Daniel, the 11th chapter, which is speaking of Antiochus. But again, the same spirit is back. All right. Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his mind, and by peace he shall destroy many. All right. And we know, and that's talking about Antiochus. It's not talking about anything that's happening today. However, it's the same spirit. We just use this because the spirit of the Greeks and the mindset of Antiochus is in these rulers today. This is not only is this Rome all over again, but this is, all right, the Greeks all over again too. Okay. 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them, man. Okay, so they're getting ready to, again, use their news platforms to continue to push all of this confusion and have you to think this is the problem, that's the problem, when they're the problem. Job 20:12, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. Psalms 10:7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit. Okay, but under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So that's what he has in plan with this technology. He's not going to use it to help the people. Okay, it's going to be used for his plan. All right, and he wants to be God. He wants to have his eyes on everybody via, an AI help him. He wants to know every transaction. Okay, he wants everything on his grid. He wants you ultimately, okay, and this is going to be once they're said and done, okay, what they want, this is going to be worse than being slaved. Okay, revealed the world's most surveilled cities of 2024. So surveillance as a means to stop all of this so-called crime and everything that they want. Okay, we can clearly see that this is the direction it's going. All right, and you think they're gonna just stop at, all right, well, we need surveillance. No, how eventually do they want to surveil you is under your skin. Okay, so hey, we could very well see, all right, World Caps Landmarks Years that aim to define human in the context of AI. See that? All right, their goal is to merge you with AI, and they're going to use complete fear tactics, scarcity of food tactics, all kind of tactics as a means to do it. So I just wanted to bring these things out. I didn't want to go too deep into it, but we can clearly see we're in some very interesting times. Let's see here. That's it. I'm gonna just leave it there. AI chatbot is instructing teen users to murder bullies and carry out school shootings. So we're in some crazy times, man. So stay prayed up, and may Yahweh Bashim Yahshai be with you, sincere brothers and sisters, all right, as well as your family. Shalom.